Something went wrong with the experiment. I think I'm in a lot of trouble. Will you help me?
Lynn, you have every right to be angry and confused. Nobody's been honest with you. Except you. Maybe that's because I understand what you're going through. Same thing happened to me. It did? My father stole me from my mom when I was just a baby. Herb Callison stole you from Dorian? Herb is my adopted father. My real father is David Rinaldi. You were a lot luckier than I was. At least you got to live with one of your parents. My father took me to his mother and turned me over to her. So I didn't know either one of my parents until I finally found Mom. How old were you? 15. And I didn't meet my father until I was almost your age. I was so angry at him, and I hated him. If he didn't want me, he should have at least turned me over to my mother. Did you ask him why he did it? Yeah. His reasons were long and involved. But it was also at that time that I finally started to realize how much he really loved me. Then I started hearing people tell me that he was a spy, and everyone was whispering. What? It was the most horrible experience of my life. One minute I believed the stories, the next minute I didn't. Finally, I just went to him and confronted him and told him that I wanted to know the truth. And that's when I finally started to really understand him. He's a very complicated human being, and all his actions and his motives were equally complicated. But he's also the man that I really grew to love very much. What about his past? He made a lot of mistakes, but he paid for them. It wasn't a pretty picture. But once I took the time to really try and figure him out, then I could forgive him. I wouldn't trade the time that I've spent with my dad for anything in the world. Cassie, I'm so happy for you. You've helped me so much, and I am so grateful. Well, it is my humble opinion that both your parents have handled this very badly. Mary Lynn, you've got to realize that your parents have gone through years of living with fear and anger. And maybe Lee was afraid that once you knew the truth about her, you'd reject her. I don't even know what the truth is. Just what my father's told me. Guess there's only one way to find out. Good luck. Thank you so much. Welcome. I've got to call an ambulance.
No.
Patrick! Damn it, you need help.
I know what the problem is.
Look, there was nothing in that formula that would cause you to have this sort of reaction.
Yes, there was. I added a new chemical to it.
What? How can you be so stupid I could wring your neck?
I thought we did the jackpot.
Some jackpot.
Look, there's an antidote. It has to be administered every hour. But I can't fall asleep, otherwise I might not wake up. So I can't do it alone, okay?
I wouldn't even let you try.
Thanks, I knew I could count on you.
Yeah, you can count on the people at Landview Hospital.
No, I'm not letting this formula out, not yet.
Patrick, you are playing games with your life.
I'll be all right. So just help me. Kate, you're the only one that I can trust to do this.
How dare you say that my son needs to be protected from me? I have protected that baby all along, and I am the best mother that that little boy could ever have.
Tina, we had an arrangement, all right? Anytime there was a major decision in Al's life, we were both gonna make it. But you just charge right ahead and you do whatever you damn well pleased.
Oh, and what is so terrible about Gabrielle?
For one thing, she is Dante Medina's daughter.
What does that have to do with anything?
In case you've forgotten, the man was a drug dealer, and he was working with Jamie Sanders, and the two of them almost killed you and our baby.
Yeah, but she didn't have anything to do with the drug operation. Just what do you think she's gonna do, huh? Just plant cocaine out by the swimming pool?
Please, Tina, all right? She told me just yesterday that she's in some kind of danger. She said the danger was over, but who knows what's gonna happen? What if one of her father's accomplices comes back here looking for her? Our son could get caught in the middle.
That's not gonna happen now. She's safe now.
You just met this woman a few months ago. I don't understand how you could become such good friends all of a sudden.
Cord, perhaps I can explain things to your satisfaction.
The antidote's over in the supply cabinet.
Now listen to me. Why don't you give me your notes and I will give them to the personnel at the hospital?
No. Take care of it.
No, Patrick, you can't take care of it. You can't even sit up without help. Now, come on. Why don't you be reasonable and let me call an ambulance?
No. I'm not going to do that. I've worked too long on this. I'm not going to have some parasite steal it. Or the press asking questions and giving people false hope. It's not fair. I've come too far on this. It's done too much good.
Well, what good is it doing you now?
I just need some more time.
Look, what you need is a psychiatrist along with some other medical doctors.
All I ask for is one more day. That's all I want.
Oh, please, what is it?
I have to start the antidote now.
Why don't you be reasonable? Please, let me call an ambulance.
If you won't do it, just give me the antidote and leave.
Okay. I have to make one call.
No doctors.
No. No, it's personal. Well, hey, you, why didn't you use your key?
Oh, I forgot I had it.
Well, that's all right. Come on in. Hey, look what I got us.
What's this?
This is a beautiful lunch. Now, I know you usually eat lunch later, but I thought maybe you'd make an exception this time, you know, because I have, well, I have something really important that I'd like to share with you. Wait, let's sit down, okay?
I don't want to sit. And I don't want lunch. I want some answers. I know about you. I know you're my mother.
My father was a criminal, and Tina almost lost her life because of his greed. Sweetheart. He also brought me and my family a great deal of shame. But Tina, of all people, helped me in the time I needed it the most. She was caring and understanding, even though she knew that my father's crimes were his and his alone, not mine. Now I've got an opportunity to pay her back for her kindness. Cord, please don't let your feelings towards my father stand in the way of my trying to help Tina and Al.
Look, I'm not saying that you're like your father, Gabrielle. I'm really not. Bottom line is, I'm concerned for my son.
Nothing concerns me more than his safety and well-being. Look, the way I see it, Tina is trying to make the best of a very difficult situation here, Cord.
I just don't understand how you can give up everything in your life and quit it all, become a nursemaid for a woman's baby that's not even yours.
Why do you care what I do with my time? As long as Al is well cared for, that's all that matters.
Yeah, besides, Gabrielle isn't going to be here that long. I mean, just until Vicky and Kim get back with the kids, that's all.
And Al knows me. He responds to me, and most of all, Tina trusts me. Isn't that better than hiring someone from an agency?
I don't like this setup, ladies. I really don't. I sure as hell don't understand it. Look, I'm going to go upstairs. I'm going to say goodbye to Clint before he leaves. This discussion is not over.
I tell you, I don't know what's gotten into him lately. He's as suspicious as Maria ever was. But thank you. Thank you for helping me.
I had no choice. You backed me into a corner yet again. I hate lying. Tina, you may be a champion at it, but I'm not. I almost told Cord the truth.
You can't do that. I love this baby. You can't take him away from me. And Gord will go tell Rafe, and then they'll know why Maria was trying to blackmail me, and I'll never be able to prove my innocence.
If you had been honest from the beginning with me and with Max and with Cord, you wouldn't be in this trouble now. I am warning you, Tina. I'm not going to continue lying forever. And if Cord gives me any more trouble, I will tell him the truth. And I'll take Al with me back to Buenos Aires also.
Oh, my God. Gosh, she means that. I've got to stay calm. That's all there is to it. Well, honey. Honey, what are we gonna do? And Max said that money he gave me, it was easy come, easy go, right? Oh, Max. Max, I'm sorry. We don't have a choice, do we, honey? We don't have a choice, honey. We have to jump bail. Come on.
On TV4.
Patrick, I am very sorry that you're sick. But you brought it on yourself by testing the formula.
Kate, I could hardly ask anyone else to take this risk.
My point is that I have plans for this afternoon that I can't break, and I'm not going to be able to take care of you. Cord and I are eloping, and I'm sorry, but I can't and I won't put off our marriage any longer.
You're my mother. You're Carol Dennison. Now that's true, isn't it? Are you going to say my father lied about it?
No, that's true. I was going to tell you today, but I spent all last night trying to get up enough
You had months to tell me the truth.
Well, yes, I know I did, but I had a lot of different reasons for it, and some of them were justified and some of them were a little selfish, but I was just very afraid of the consequences on both of us.
No. You were only thinking of yourself.
No, that's not true. Oh, Mary Lynn, I have grown to love you as a person separate from me. And in spite of me, in spite of you growing up without a mother's influence, you have turned out so incredibly.
So what's your point? You still haven't explained why you kept it a secret. Why didn't you make yourself known to me and my dad? He had to discover who you were on his own. And I was left to wonder and worry. When I had the answer, it was right in front of me.
All right, I know that must have seemed cruel to you, but I was just waiting for the right time, you know? I was waiting for the right... Gosh, I guess I don't have much of an excuse for this. It's just that saying that I am your mother would be the most important statement I would have to make in my entire life. And I just didn't want you to turn away from me.
Well, were you going to wait until I discovered it on my own?
No.
Even if it took me years?
No, I wasn't. I was going to tell you today. I was going to tell you everything. I wanted you to know everything. Please, Mary Lynn. Now that you know, just let me hold you, and then we can talk about it later.
Max.
Looks like you need some help there, little lady. What are you doing, heading for an outing? You want me to give you a hand, help you out to the car? Maybe go with you, play chauffeur?
Yeah, well, I can manage.
No, come on, be serious. Tina, you keep out here, I'll take the bag. Here, I'll take these things.
No, I'll take that.
My, Clint, how you have changed. And won't Vicky be so surprised when she sees you and the baby get off instead of her husband?
Why didn't you use the front door like you usually do?
Nice try, Tina.
Yeah, well, you just give me those, all right?
Just
Just pretend we didn't run into each other.
So tell me, darling, what do you find so appealing in Switzerland this time of year?
Well, it's not land view, for one thing. Nobody has me on trial for murder there, and my sister is there, and she loves me, and she'll take care of me.
Oh, is this the great jumbo economy size attack of self-pity or what?
Look, Max, I am not a strong person. Everybody knows that, especially when I'm under pressure, and I have a lot of it right now. I mean, Cord thinks I'm a murderer, and Judith can't prove I'm not, and then there's Gabrielle snooping about all...
Gabrielle?
She volunteered to move in here and take care of Al during all my trials and tribulations.
Well, that seems awful nice of her. What do you mean, creeping around?
Well, it's like she's waiting, you know? She's just waiting for me to just lose it all, you know? And it's like she even thinks I might even harm Al. That's why if you please, just take me to the airport, okay? I really can't take much more of this.
Tina, let's say I take you to the airport. You fly to Switzerland, then what? You get off the plane, what's Vicky gonna do? I'll tell you what she's gonna do. She's gonna put you on the next flight back. She might even come with you. You're gonna force her to leave her kid with his terrible asthma there all alone without his mother.
Great, just what I need, more guilt.
But isn't that what's gonna happen?
Okay, so then I'll go someplace else. I'll go to Paris.
Oh, fine. So Vicky can worry and the rest of us can worry. Did you learn anything when you ran off to El Paso? Didn't you swear you were never gonna pull another dumb stunt like that?
Well, look, that was before she found... Before she died. Max, I really can't take much more of this. I mean, there's too much at stake here. My life and Al's.
Okay, fine. All right. Go. I'll help you get to the airport. And, would you write often, please? Oh, and while you're at it, it would be nice to get a little apology for the $500,000 I'm going to lose when you skip town.
Kay, why didn't you tell me?
Because I didn't think that would be something you'd want to hear, and besides, Cord and I were trying to keep it a secret.
Would you think I'd do something to try and stop you? Kate, I'd never ask you to stay under these conditions. Come on.
Patrick, lie down, please. You're burning up. Your eyes are glazed over. You're very sick.
I'll be all right. It'll pass, okay? Anyway, the headaches are gone, and I must have altered the formula enough.
I don't believe this. Look, I am begging you to never test yourself again. You do it as if you're popping aspirin without even thinking about what the consequences might be.
Give me a little bit of credit, all right? I conducted the necessary tests.
Nonetheless, you are fooling around in untried territory. And I'm calling Larry Wallach in.
No. No doctors. How many times do I have to tell you that?
Look, I know him personally. He will keep the secret. I can assure you of that.
You don't know that, and I'm not going to risk it.
So you're willing to risk your life?
Right now, work is my only reason for having a life. Why don't you just go on? Go off and get married, buy a new dress, have a great honeymoon, okay?
Patrick, how about some... Kate, what are you doing here?
That's a long story, but she's just leaving anyway.
What is wrong with you?
I got a virus or something. But I've got some medicine for it, so if you don't mind, maybe you could stay and help me since she's going to leave.
Sorry, but the truth is Patrick tried out the burn formula on himself, and he's experiencing some very serious side effects.
You must really think I'm gullible and naive. Or maybe still 2 years old. Do you think I'm going to give you a big hug and kiss and call you Mom? Say welcome home and tell you that I love you?
That was my dream.
You have no idea how angry I am, do you? I don't know if I will ever be able to forgive you for this.
Marilyn, do you want to talk about anger? Do you want to talk about forgiveness? And let's talk about your father and what he did to me, what he did to you 17 years ago. He didn't even have enough respect for me to say goodbye. He just took you. He didn't even leave a note for me.
Okay. Go on. Tell me your side of the story.
All right, I've been waiting to tell you this for so long. I just hope it... Look, our marriage wasn't working out. As far as I was concerned, I was pretty young. Maybe I wasn't in love enough. I don't know, maybe love had nothing to do with it, but I was pretty immature. I came from a real difficult family, and there were some ugly things that happened, and I guess I was kind of a sucker for someone as kind and nurturing as your father was. And is, apparently. But I don't know, Tom seemed like he could erase a lot of the problems I had in my life. So we had this short courtship, and then, boom, we just got married immediately. You know, we jumped right into it. And for a few months, I thought life was pretty wonderful.
Before you got pregnant with me.
Yeah. When I found out I was pregnant, I was pretty shocked. Your father was happy. He really couldn't wait until you were born, but I'm going to be really honest with you. I was a little apprehensive. I didn't think I could handle the responsibility. And thinking back on it, you know what I think? I think I was pretty much of a child myself. And just like a child, I had so much more to experience. I wanted to get out in the world. I wanted to experience things. I wanted to have a sense of freedom, you know, just like you do. Just like you don't want to be a daughter all the time. You want to get out there, and you wanted to go to Europe and have your own job and be in love with Rick. Well, Tom just seemed to give me a secure home and safety, but that felt a little crippling for me. Do you understand that?
Yes. In a way, I can relate to that.
Yeah, I bet you can, because you know what? I've watched it happen to you. And that's why, as a friend, I have really tried to encourage you to go off on your own more.
Could you please get back to the story?
All right. All right. Well, there really isn't one dramatic incident I can tell you. It's just that, well, when I was pregnant with you and afterwards, I all of a sudden felt that my life wasn't fulfilling anymore. I just didn't have my spirit about me. I didn't have the same desire to do things, and I was tired all the time. I could barely get myself up in the morning.
Depression.
Right. I mean, there were times when I woke up and I could barely breathe. I felt like I was suffocating.
So you didn't much care for me being in your life?
No. Oh, no, that's not true. I cared a great deal. I mean, the mere fact that I gave birth to you, that you were a part of me, I just... Oh, look, I dreamed about you all the time. I dreamed about you growing up. I dreamed of all the adventures you were going to have. And then, you know what? I thought, oh, no, I was dreaming about these things for myself. I just wanted to have something more than being a housewife and living in that little home in Nevada.
Did you talk to Dad about your feelings?
Yes, I did, but he didn't seem to understand. You see, now it's sort of understood that a woman has brains and ambitions, but back then that enlightenment was sort of just being discussed, you know? So your father thought, because he gave me a home, and he gave me love, and he gave me security, that that would be enough for me.
So when he couldn't understand or didn't listen, you decided to become a prostitute. Is that how you used your brain, fulfilled your ambition?
If you left town, it would kill me that you were gone, not the money. Of course, when I thought about it a little while longer, the money probably bothered me. But at first...
Yeah, I thought that was a little too sappy for you.
Yeah, the point is that you come first. And everything else, including the money, is a distant second.
I don't know why you feel that way, but I almost believe you.
Almost. I'll go for almost. I'll take that for right now. What do you say we get Al out of the heat there and we go into the library? We will have a very constructive talk about your many problems.
You know what? One of these days, maybe somebody will explain to me why my first instinct is always the wrong one. It's like I have a messed up sense of direction or something. I want to go east and I end up going west. I want to go south and I end up north.
It's because you have a faulty radar, kiddo. That's what you need me for. I am the steadfast compass of your life. Now, come here, let me take the kid. Hey, Albert. Come over here, you godfather, huh?
Yeah.
Tina, you're gonna have to learn not to let this stuff get to you. You can't dwell on it, all right? And you're gonna have to learn to just go through the motions while I do my best to prove your innocence.
You know what really scares me about this whole thing? I'm just so scared that in the middle of all this, I'm going to lose Al.
Listen, I'm not gonna let that happen. This baby belongs to you. Huh.
Tina, Clint's just...
Well, Max.
Hey, Cord. Just sitting here with my godson going over the 10 Commandments.
Charles, the exterminator who normally uses that truck said it was stolen from him.
I don't know what to make of it, Mother. I mean, since nothing was missing, I just have to chalk it up to some oddball.
No, dear, I don't think we can dismiss this incident. Remember, you're president of several corporations, and I'm chairman of the board at Sanders.
I know what you're thinking, that something or someone was after, what, information? Secretive, sensitive information?
Exactly. Now, I've been giving this a lot of thought, and the theory makes sense to me. The man found a secret panel in the column. Obviously, he was looking for something, although heaven knows what. Perhaps he searched the desk in here, or even sneaked up to my room. In any case, I think I know who's behind it.
You do? Who?
Lee Halpern.
Lee Halpern? Oh, she's the CEO of Dyna Women?
Correct.
Well, why would you suspect her?
No, Mary Lynn, I did not go out and become a prostitute.
Dad says you did.
Yes, I know he says that, and he has believed that, and he will believe that to his dying day.
He followed you to a ranch, a known place where men paid for sex.
I know. I was visiting a friend there who was sick. She did that. I did not. That was your father's paranoia, Mary Lynn. Please listen to me. He couldn't understand my restlessness. He couldn't understand the fact that I was spending money, probably money we didn't really have on babysitters, because I needed to get out of that house. I mean, I needed to take walks and go take drives and go to the movies. I needed to escape. And that is the reason your father thought I was seeing other men. He didn't understand me. He didn't believe me. And you know what else he did? He didn't allow my friend to come into the house because of the profession she was in. That was the one person who understood me. That was the one person I could talk to freely and openly.
How did you get so close to a prostitute in the first place?
Boy, I'm really not quite sure on that. I think it was, a friend of a friend's or something. But, you know what? She was sort of a mother figure to me. You know, she was lots of fun, and she had a very liberal viewpoint on things.
Oh, I would imagine. So you preferred to spend time with her instead of with us?
No, not instead. Also. I mean, I did my wifely duties, and then with joy, I took care of you, and I don't mean joy all the time. I mean, that would be a little unrealistic, but I loved being with you as a baby.
We're somehow off the issue.
No, we are not. We are dead on it. I loved being with you, but I needed other outlets, and my friend was my outlet, and your father wouldn't let me see her. He didn't allow her in the house. He said I was playing hooker on the side, so he took you and he left town.
Why would he make up something like that?
Because he wanted to believe it. And it was an easy way out, don't you think, Mary Lynn? He didn't have to deal with lawyers or custody cases, nothing. He just disappeared. That's against the law, you know. That boils down to kidnapping.
And did you call the police? The FBI? Do anything to find us? To fight for me?
No. Please don't condemn me on that. I didn't have the emotional strength, and I didn't have the money to hire an investigator.
Does the FBI bill you? Or were you worried they would side with my dad and say that you were an unfit mother? Or maybe you were glad that he had taken me so that you can become a big businesswoman with her own company. Maybe you were never going to tell me the truth because you were afraid I would interfere in your life again. Well, you don't have to worry about that anymore, because I won't ever bother you again.
No, please don't walk out on me, Mary Lynn. It's taken 17 years to find you. I will not let you leave me again. I love you. I have always loved you. Do you think it's an accident why I'm here in Lambview? I read that your father was appointed the news director at WVLE. Do you think it's an accident that I set up my business here? I came here, and I carefully let you get to know me. And I let myself get to know you so that when we got to this point, or I could tell you we could care about each other. Now, I waited too long, I know that. And you can be angry at me for that, but that's beside the point, isn't it? What's important is the bond that we feel.
On top of being angry and hurt, I am so confused.
I know, I can see.
Both you and Dad, you expect me to believe your stories. I am supposed to love you and forgive you. But worst of all, you are trying to force me to choose between you two. And since the stories don't jibe, that's exactly where we're headed.
No, Mary Lynn, I do not want you to choose. And I do not want you to stop loving your father. I just want you to give me a chance. Please don't cut me out of your life. Just give me a chance. I mean, I have wanted to tell you all this for so long.
That's why I'm so angry. You knew how desperate I was to find my mother, and you still held it back. I would have opened my arms to you. I would have thanked God for the news.
So you can still do that.
No, I can't. Because you played games with me instead. I can't trust you, and I can't trust a thing that you have told me.
You are going to trust your father? Is that it? He told you I was dead. Is that someone to believe in? Is that a father's love?
You tested yourself? Yes, and it's not the first time.
Kate, you promised not to tell anyone about this.
I've been trying to convince him to see a doctor, but he's afraid that they'll make his burn formula public.
And indeed they would. Every scientist in this country would give his right arm to get his hands on this burn cure. And every drug company in the world would rush to produce the thing.
So I suppose there's no point arguing over it?
No, there isn't any point in it. Okay, please, why don't you just go on, run along. I mean that, sincerely. Right? And if you decide you want to go back to work in the lab, then you give me a call when you come back, okay?
Cindy, you'll stay with him until it wears off? Yes. Get going. Cord needs you. Yes, he does. Look, I'm really sorry that you're sick, and I hope you feel better soon. And I want you to promise me that you won't do it again.
Yeah.
Take care, and have fun. Remember, this is your wedding day.
Right, Kate.
Thanks a lot, sis.
I know what you did. You tested yourself knowing you get ill and stopped Kay from getting married.
Wrong. I didn't use the burn formula on myself. I took something to make myself sick. Don't worry about it. I mean, what are you looking at me that way for, huh? You think your brother has lost it, turned into the mad scientist?
Well, you said it. I didn't.
You might as well have. I'm just using the tools at hand to hold on to Kate's.
You have lost her. How many times do I have to say it?
I haven't lost her. You think I'm going to let a marriage certificate stand in the way? It's just another obstacle, Cindy. Nothing more. When have you ever known me to give up at anything?
So, Max, what brings you around here?
Good to see you too again, Cord. I'm visiting, isn't it obvious? Huh.
You know, for a fellow who owns a big hotel like the Holding Towers, you sure have a lot of time on your hands to go visit him.
Cord,
would you cut it out? Max is a very dear friend of mine, but I don't know what's gotten into you lately. I mean, you don't want me to have any friends. You don't want Gabrielle to be here, and now you don't want Max to be here either.
Save it, Tina. I just don't want to hear it, all right? Clint asked me to come down to get his jacket.
Oh, what is it, huh?
What happened to the airline tickets? They were right here in his pocket.
I wanted to put them in a real safe place. So I put them in Al's baby bag.
In the baby bag, huh? Oh, well, thank you. I wonder what else Al has in here, huh? Passports. How many guesses do I get, Tina? Or maybe you'll just come right out and tell me the truth for once in your life. Or better yet, why don't you just admit that you were about to do something real stupid?
This was Tina a while ago, all right? When I pointed out to her that she should stop and think about running away, she decided not to.
That's right. And the main reason I did that is because I didn't want to take Al away from his daddy.
Or maybe you just realized that if you had run away like that, it would have been admitting your guilt.
I'm not guilty of anything except trying to keep your mother from killing Vicky.
All right, save it, Tina. I'm just going to bring Clint his coat. And I'd like to take his grandson off to say goodbye to him. Max?
All righty.
Hey, guy, how you doing?
It's all yours. So, Daddy?
Let's go say goodbye to Grandpa. I think I'm just going to hold on to these passports for a little while, Tina. All right? That way, if Max is not around next time, nothing will happen. But then again, I guess nothing will stop you from taking off to some part in the country. Let's go.
That guy really has a lot of faith in you, doesn't he?
Don't even joke about it, all right? But thanks for making it seem like it was no big deal. Sometimes, Max, I don't know what I'd do without you.
I don't know either. And I keep proving it over and over again, but you just don't seem to realize it.
It only occurred to me much later, but Lee called me quite out of the blue and asked to have dinner and a talk.
I wasn't aware that you even knew each other.
Well, yes, I admit I have used her services once or twice, but only when cornered, mind you, and not lately. Anyway, over dinner, Lee said that she was thinking of dissolving Dynawomen and asked if I might have room for some of her consultants. Well, I told her I thought that was a bizarre idea, folding instead of selling a thriving company. And no, I had no use for her sort at Sanders Chemical. Then I got the call from Payson about the exterminator. Oh, there's one other thing.
What's that?
When Lee called first, she invited both of us to dinner.
Did she?
I told her that you were out of town. In other words, she knew that neither one of us would be here. And she kept me busy long enough for that man to get in.
Well, it seems a bit far-fetched, Mother. I mean, considering how many people would just love to search our respective desks.
Charles, Lee Halpern has made a specialty of this sort of thing, and I'm not going to sit by and ignore it.
Why don't you let me handle it?
You don't even know her.
Well, we did meet. I mean, that evening at the party when Jeffrey was parading around as Prince Raymond. I found her quite attractive.
Wonderful. Then you'd use this serious business to go and flirt with her.
Rather than accusing her right off the bat like you would do, let me just casually dig around and see what I can come up with. If I feel she's dissembling, then I'll accuse her and see where that leads.
My dear boy, I know you all too well. She starts flirting with you, the mission will be forgotten.
Trust me on this one, Mother, and this mission deserves a surprise attack. See you later.
Oh, I am really sorry. I was really going to try to keep my anger down about Tom. I don't want to make you any more confused than you already are. I just want us to make peace.
Are you talking about you and me or you and Dad?
No, I'm talking about you and me. I really don't think it's possible for your father and I to get over the anger that we have for each other. But I will try that for your sake.
My sake. Sounds somewhat hollow.
I want to show you something. Do you remember this brush?
Yes. And you lied about it because it's really mine.
Yeah, boy, I don't know how you can remember back that far, but this is yours. Do you remember this?
No.
Well, this, a few photos and some memories were all I had. And I have cried over these. And I have smiled over these. They have kept me alive all this time.
I liked Lee Halpern so much when I met her. I remember saying how wonderful it would be if my mother turned out to be just like you. And there is a part of me that wants to say, okay, I will forget that you kept the truth from me. That's the part that felt so lost and yearned for a mother. But I'm almost 20 years old. I'm an adult. And no matter what my heart says, my mind tells me that there is something missing in your story. I can't understand why you didn't look for me sooner. And I also can't understand why my father was so wrong in the way that he handled all this, too.
I know this was all our fault, it really was, and I'm so sorry you had to pay for this. But all I ask is a chance to be accepted and loved by you as your mother.
I have to be alone and think about this some more.
All right. But, hey, what if you come in tomorrow and we can see how things work out? Just give us a chance. I won't push you, but just give us a chance.
I don't know. I just don't know.
No, Patrick will be fine.
There she is. Looks like you are all ready to go. Huh?
Ready? I am over ready. Let's
Oh, yeah?
go.
Oh, wait a minute. I guess that means you don't want these then?
You're beautiful. And you're beautiful. And I love you.
I love you.
Hey, listen. I've got an idea. You want to go get married? Like right now?
Yeah, I could get behind that.
And then how about going on like a very long honeymoon?
That sounds wonderful, too.
Okay. What's going on?
Nothing, honey, nothing.
Cord?
Listen, I'm not going to let it interfere with what is going to happen with us. It's just when you said long honeymoon, it made me think. A few hours ago, Tina almost packed up the baby and ran off to Switzerland.
Max, keep telling me everything's okay, all right? Tell me I'm not going to go to jail and I'm not going to lose Al. Oh, you know, Max, I really do depend on you. So do something for me, okay? Don't leave me here all alone. I mean, this house is so empty, it's kind of creepy.
Oh, what do you mean alone? You've got Gabrielle upstairs.
It's not the same. She can't help me the way you do. I mean, not where it really feels like it's eating me up inside.
Listen. I'll be here for you. I'll stay. So don't worry, all right? You probably have to throw me out of the joint.
Oh, excuse me. Hello?
Hi, I was told I could reach Max Holden here.
Yeah, who's this?
Could I please speak to him?
Hold on. It's for you.
What? Max Holden?
Yeah, Max, it's Lee. Would you mind coming over here? I really need to talk to you.
What's wrong? You sound awful.
Yeah, well, I am awful. It's, Mary Lynn.
Look, I got some problems right here. Look, my hands are full.
Yeah, Max, listen, I heard about Tina's problems, but mine are really more immediate here. I was really hoping you could... Look, I need to talk to you, Max.
I really can't talk about this now, all right? Can we talk later?
Never mind, Max. I never made this call.
Mary Lynn, I got your message. You sounded really shaken.
It's Lee Halpern.
What about her? She do something to hurt you?
She's my mother. Dad told me this morning, and she confirmed it. Lee Halpern is my mother.
And you've been just sitting here trying to deal with that?
And getting nowhere. Which is why I called you. I need to talk about this.
Oh, sure. Just not here. Come on, let's go somewhere where we can be alone, okay?
Who the hell are you?
No, I'm Charles Sanders, Lee. We met at the party here in the hotel for Prince Raymond, don't you remember?
Yeah, that's right. I remember. Listen, you really came at a bad time here.
Apparently so. I'm sorry.
Yeah, look, if it's about your mother and what I discussed...
No. It's not that. Excuse me, but is there something really wrong? Anything I can do to help?
No, really. The last thing I need right now is kindness, please.
Seems to me that's exactly what you do need.
Look, Charles, I really would love to be by myself right now.
I understand, Lee, but I have a dry shoulder. I'm a good listener. I can talk or not talk. Seems to me you need a friend right now.
And, of course, she promises that she's not going to do anything like that again, but I believe that about as much as I believe that it's winter outside right now.
Well, Tina's not very good under pressure, and this is about as much pressure she's ever going to face, so you can...
Fine, she can go ahead and she can fool with her own life if she wants to, but when she starts messing with my sons, I tell you, just... Oh. Yeah, I hope that Max and Gabrielle have much more common sense than Tina. Maybe they can keep a lid on her panic button.
And what if they can't?
And what if they can't? Honey, that's not what I wanted to hear from you. I wanted you to say, don't worry, because there's nothing to worry about, something like that.
Yes, but unfortunately there is.
Kate, Oh.
You're scared of being away, so you want to postpone the honeymoon, don't you?
But I can't ask you that, honey. You have put up with so much already.
Yes, I certainly have, and so have you. But if we go to Mexico, your heart and your mind are going to be in Landview. So why don't we just postpone it until whenever?
Honey, you are wonderful. You know that?
And while we're at it, why don't we postpone the wedding, too?
No, Kate, I don't...
Cord, I want this to be a